Good morning, family. I thought I'd make a brief video about the Snyder Cut of the Justice League movie. And I'm going to say this right off the bat. It's 4 hours long. It's a 4 hour long film, and it does not feel like 4 hours. That's going to be the other thing that's amazing about this whole thing. It's a 4 hour film. Well done. A great film. There's a lot of little things I want to talk about real quick. So, the synopsis of the film. If you've seen Justice League before, this film is totally different than the one that came out in the movie theaters, and way better. Because of the other film, they were thinking about scrapping DC Comics' whole universe and the whole Justice League thing, just scrapping and throwing it away. But when you watch this movie, it makes you want to have a DC universe, a whole Justice League. So all these actors that they've now shipped off, they've got to try to bring them back, because this right here is awesome. I don't know if Ben Affleck will return as Batman. I don't know if you can do that. Of course, there was one thing that was said in the video that a lot of people didn't pay attention to. I've seen some reviews and nobody said anything about that, about what the Joker said at the end of the movie. But let's go through this real quick. Like I said, I just really been doing the synopsis. You know the movie, so I'm not going to go through all those kind of details. But guess what I loved? I loved how they updated the antagonist in the movie, how they gave him armor and did all the things, and they brought in Darkseid. So you know that there's a bigger war coming, because Darkseid is on the way. Now, would I do Darkseid in the second movie? No, maybe the third movie, and Darkseid would be in all the little split-off movies somewhere along the way, and then I'd bring him in. Meanwhile, Lex Luger, hey, he's up to no good. Of course, he's revealed to Deathstroke who Batman's real identity is, and I got a feeling people probably didn't notice that either. That when Lois Lane confronted Clark, while he was freaking out because he didn't know what had just happened, that he'd been dead for a certain amount of time, that she revealed his name. See, people didn't know who Superman was, but she revealed his name to those policemen that were standing there and other people around. So everybody knows he's Clark Kent. That little group. We know that all the superheroes know who he is. And they should. So, there were some things, the little Easter eggs that people missed during the movie that I thought were interesting. How certain things. I like the fact that Cyborg was the focus of this movie. He should have been in the first place, because his powers come from those boxes. And we're seeing his origin story and his growth in this film. So I hope they go ahead and bring him back and create some storylines behind him. They're going to flesh him out as a character a little bit more, but they did a very good job in this as far as as who he is and everything. Every character, you felt like they belong. The last movie they made, you didn't quite get it. It's like they cut this, cut that, cut this. Let's make this movie campy for kids. A mistake they made with Batman. I do not know why studios keep making the same mistake over and over again. If the film's dark, it's dark. What superheroes do is not pretty. Come on, let's be honest with you. They're basically vigilantes. They fight bad guys. They're outside the stream of the law. And then some of their bad guys, especially in comic books like this, where it's a lot of aliens and stuff like that, their bad guys are bad. So people die. So creatures die. They can't save everybody. You gotta stop the bad guys from destroying the world. So you gotta do what you gotta do. That's what this was about. I'm not being very specific about certain names. Y'all have to forgive me. I don't really read comic books. So, but as you understand, the underling of Darkseid, they made him better. You saw how tough and how strong he was in this movie as compared to the punk they had in the last movie. He still was getting his butt kicked by everybody, which nobody really paid attention to, because he'd get back up and do his thing anyway. Then he would turn the tables on them. So that's why people, liked it. There were some other little scenes that popped up at the end that I really want to talk about that too. But the biggest thing is when I'm looking at the film is um, everything is awesome. The special effects is great. It's wonderful. CGI isn't overdone. Most films nowadays overdo it, but all the CGI in this movie was necessary. Um, there are some things you couldn't do anything about. Okay, there's a little campiness to Superman, but that's what it was all about. That love, the whole love thing that was going on with him and Lois Lane while they were fighting. You know, it kind of had to happen because he had to figure out who he was again and remember and come back. The black Superman suit, off the chain, loved it, wonderful. Snyder Cut just saved the DC universe. It may all from now on come on streaming. They don't even have to have a movie, but the Snyder Cut saved the DC universe because when the original Justice League, and I'll be honest, when it fell, I didn't want to see any of the. I didn't want to see Suicide Squad. I didn't want to see the Joker, and this new Batman was falling flat to me. Heck, I've never really watched the Arrow series, the Arrowverse on TV. You know, Batwoman, Supergirl, and all that stuff. I hadn't watched that at all because I just felt like it fell flat. Avengers, Marvel Comics was doing it. They were just doing it big. This right here kind of saves the day. Makes you want to go back and see some things. Makes you want to see what's going on here. And how do we tie all these different movies together? Because it seems like they went off in different directions with one kind of Joker over here, another Joker here, and a Batman over there, Batwoman over here. It's like everything's not all tying together right now. But because of Joker at the end of one of those cutscenes that they added at the end, he said one word. He said, Batman, how many realities are you going to try to save? That was an opening for the whole DC universe, for the multiverse, like the Arrowverse. It's a multiverse of different universes that all of these shows fit in. So that is a tell-all story in it. I don't know if anybody, I don't know why it seems like every review I watch, they seem to miss that line about the DC universe. But either way, this movie was awesome. I think the acting was good. I ain't gonna say great, but the acting was good in the movie. I loved every single character in the movie. We got to see what happened to the Green Lantern. I don't think we really saw what happened to him in the original cut, but he got chopped up, sliced, and the rings floating around. I guess the new Green Arrow, the Green Lantern will come along. We also saw in the movie the Gods. I think that's also a DC comic book out there. And Amazons, we saw all that, the humans battling. It was great. It was wonderful. But the storyline kind of worked together better than the storyline they had created. They were getting, like I said, the movie was more campy, more kids oriented. The end of the game was more happy. At the end of this one, oh boy, got his head chopped off. I mean, he got his head chopped off. That's some serious stuff. You know what I'm saying? He definitely sending Dark Side of the message. You come mess with us, you gonna get your head chopped off, boy. You know. Anyway, like I said, it was a good movie. It's 4-hour running time. You really won't feel it at all. Now, where it kind of got it off on a little bit was at the end when they start going through all these different scenes. You know, you got the Batman scene where it's somewhere in the future. He wakes up, surprise. Another one that kind of fell off a little, Martian Manhunter. I don't know if anybody noticed this, how they digitally enhanced everybody. They made Ben Affleck look like he was a little bit younger. And they had the Martian Manhunter talking to him. He's glad to see all the heroes come together. But it was all digital. I don't know if you noticed that or not. They had digitally enhanced his face. I don't know if they couldn't get Ben Affleck back for that scene or not, but it just seems like Ben Affleck suddenly was younger. And Martian Manhunter, you know, he says, I'll be around kind of story. I said, hey, just come sit down at the table. That's what I would have done, you know. A little different. We also got to see everybody else in action. That whole Lex Luger cut scene. It's like you got three different things going on. You understand the story's going in different directions that will peel off maybe into other movies and stuff like that. Um, and then the dream that Batman had may have been another verse, or it could have been this one. But I got a feeling it was another one, and we'll talk about that at some other time. But overall, like I said, good movie. Uh, well done, well directed by Snyder, not the other one. This is the movie. This is the one that brings back the universe. Okay, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful day. I gotta go work.